So I'm going to show you a recap of what we've done so far. For those who have maybe some issues, I guess this video should be able to solve the issues and the errors that you're getting. So let me start with submission of assignment. So when you want to submit your assignment and unlock uh, the next, you want to unlock the next lesson, just go to your my learning, then click on, after clicking on my learning, then go to the course that you have, software engineering, and then navigate to your courses. So once you, like for example, let's say I want to unlock day 5, right? So for me to unlock day 5, it tells me that I have to submit an assignment for day 4. So for that, uh, I'm not going to click there. Let me just okay, fine. So this is what you're supposed to do. So right click to open the, so when you right click, this is going to open that link, and then it says that my repo has already been created. So I'm just going to click on that and click on that link. Then once you're on that repo, you navigate to the readme part, and then that pen button, just click on edit file, and then just fill up these questions. Once you are done, let me just say, for example, I add something like let me just add that space button. You click on commit changes. Once you've clicked on commit changes, you are going to go back to, I can't commit because I haven't done this assignment, so I'm not going to do that. So once you've clicked on commit changes, you can just go back to your repository if it's this one, then click on code and then copy this URL. Copy this URL. Once you've copied, just go back to your LMS and then click on submit assignment. Then just paste your URL here, then submit. So I'm not going to submit because that I haven't done that assignment. So click on cancel. And then once you're done with that, let's just go back to module details. Make sure to fill the survey. So just click on survey and then make sure that you've filled all the survey, okay? And then once you're done with doing that, if you click on unlock, it will automatically unlock the next lesson. So that's it for those who are having trouble navigating to the next lesson. Now we learned also something about Git and GitHub in detail. So the first thing that you need to do is to install Git on your machine. So just type Git download. So click on downloads, and then if you're using a Mac OS or a Windows or a Linux, just navigate to the one that you're using. So for me, I'm using Windows. So you're going to click here to download the latest. Just click here to download the latest. So I'm not going to download because I already have it. So once you've downloaded it, just double click to install. Don't change any configuration, just click on next until the last part, and then you'll be done. Once you're done, you're going to go to your command prompt or PowerShell. You can just use Windows R button. So this will either open PowerShell or CMD. So we want to configure our global username and our global user email. So for me, I'm going to use PowerShell because if I use CMD, I get a bit of error. So click on OK, and then it's going to open your admin panel. So just type in git config global user dot email, and then just enter the email that you have signed up with on GitHub. You just enter the email that you have signed up with on GitHub. So like for me, that's my email. Um, and then click on enter. Once you're done, I'm not going to do that because mine is configured already. You do the same for global username. Git config global user dot name, and then use the name that your username on GitHub. Like for mine, that's my username. So after you've done that, click on enter, then you'll be done. So after you've done that, now we need to go back to our, so we have already installed Git on our machine, this one. So just go to your, where you have a list of all your apps, then just navigate Git. Now Git has a number of things. We have Git CMD, we have Git Bash, Git graphical user interface, Git FAQs. So just click on Git Bash. That's what we're going to use. So once you've done that, now we need to ensure that our GitHub is secured. So for that, you're going to use getting started with SSH connection. So just go to your Chrome and just look for getting started with Git SSH. Getting started with Git SSH, and then move to the official doc from GitHub, connecting to GitHub with SSH. And then on your sidebar, open the sidebar and then navigate generate new SSH key. So generate new SSH key. Sorry. And then now these are the steps. It says that open a Git bash. So once you open the Git bash, move to the next step, which is pasting this text below. SSH keygen. That then this is where they've indicated your email. You need to enter your GitHub email. So um, it's SSH keygen, no space, SSH keygen T ED 25519, and then minus say, then your email. So that's your email, then click on enter. So it's going to tell you to enter file in which to save the key. Don't enter anything, just don't even type anything, just click on enter. And then it says that I already have an ID that exists. So I already have a key that I had created before, but I'm just going to override this one so that I show you. So I'll just click on yes. And then it's going to tell you that enter paraphrase, don't enter anything, just click on enter. Enter same paraphrase again, click on enter. So you'll get this message. Now we need to go to the next step, which is add a new SSH key. So add a new SSH key. Now we have the commands for Mac. For those who are using Mac, we have the commands for Windows and Linux. So most of you are using Windows, but if you're using Mac, you are going to have to you'll have to use this command pd4. But um, for Windows, we'll use this command. Let's see, clip. Now these are some of you are getting errors. If you are getting an error by using clip, you can use nano. Like for me, I got an error using the command, the clip command. So I'll just use the nano. So we need to type this on our git bash terminal. Like if I use, let me just use this clip clip. If I use this, I'll get an error // dot ssh slash id ed 25519 25519 dot pub. So when I do that, I get an invalid argument error. So I'm going to use nano um, // ssh /id ed 25519 pub. Enter. So my machine recognizes the nano command. So I'll just copy these. I'll just copy this, Control C. Then, so we are from generating new SSH key, adding a new SSH key. Now, we are on adding a new SSH key. Now, we have done the first step, which is copying the SSH public key to your keyboard. And then now let's move to the upper right corner of any page of our GitHub and then click on our profile photo, then click on settings. So I'll just go to my profile photo and then click on settings and then click on SSH and GPG keys. So I'll just delete this one because I have that one already. So click on new SSH key and then just give your SSH key title, my GitHub SSH key, and then just paste and then click on add SSH key. So it's going to prompt you to enter your password. Just enter your password. Let me just enter my password. So click on confirm. So you'll see that your SSH key has been added here. Now, the next step is to test our SSH connection. So we've moved from generating to adding a new SSH key. Now let's test our SSH connection. Now you will need to open git bash, then just type this command on your git bash terminal. So just open a git bash terminal, git bash terminal, and then just type this ssh t git at github.com. Then click on enter. So you will get a success message saying that hi, Junior Kati, which is my GitHub username, you successfully authenticated. And then ignore this one, but just ignore that one. You will get this message. Now you can also get a warning message like this. The authenticity of host, this one. So when you get a message like this, just make sure that this key fingerprint, this one, matches. I'm just going to open this link on a new tab. So just make sure that this key fingerprint matches this one that we had, matches this fingerprint, matches this one. So if it matches this fingerprint, just it will ask you, are you sure you want to continue connecting? Yes or no? Just click on yes. So when you've done that, you're going to get now a successful prompt that uh, hi Derek, you've successfully authenticated, but GitHub does not provide shell access. So you would have tested your SSH connection and confirmed that it's working well. Now, the next thing is to let's create we want to push our first code to GitHub. So you need to create, let's create a folder. So for that, we're going to use mk dir, and then that folder, let's maybe give it a name. Let's say, um, GitHub, GitHub, um, GitHub 2. Then click on enter, and then let's just move to that directory, to that. So cd GitHub 2. Then let's create some files inside that directory. So touch, you use the touch command. So touch, and then maybe the first file, let's say touch, um, GitHub tutorial, GitHub tutorial .py, and then the next one, touch, um, Python tutorial .py. Then maybe the third file, we can say maybe Kenya.html. So you have to use the touch command, touch Kenya.html. Click on enter. Now, for us to navigate to those files on our Visual Studio, just type code and then a period at the end. Now you'll see that we have created 3 files. We have the git.py, kenya.html, and python.py. So when I click on this, let me just add a few things. Maybe let me say print download tutorial tutorial GitHub documentation here. Then Control S just to save. Then let's do some changes also on Python. So print Python tutorial doc. Then also Control S. Now, when you go back to your Git bash terminal, and then, so first you need to git init, then to check the status of your terminal, just use git status. Now it says that we have 3 untracked files. We have GitHub tutorial.py, kenya.html, and python tutorial.py. So we have 3 untracked files. So we need to push this to our Git repository. So first thing you're going to do is to use the git add command. So if you want to add them one by one, just use git add GitHub tutorial .py. If you want to add them separately, like one each, you need to specify them separately. But if you want to add all of them, just use git add and then a period at the end. Now when you go back to git status, you'll see we have changes that need to be committed. 3. We have the new file github.py, we have the new file kenya.html, and then the last one python.py. Now the next thing we need to do is to git commit. So git commit, then and then just give it a name like my tutorial document. Tutorial document. Then just click on enter. Now the next thing we need to do is to push. Okay. Now you need to go and create a repository. After you've created a repository, we need to remotely add that repository to our Git bash terminal. Okay. So just give me a minute. So we need to create a repository. So just go to your Git, and then on this plus button, just click new repository, and then just name it. Let me just say tutorials point. Tutorials tutorials point. Tutorials point. And then you can give a description if you want what your repo is all about. And then make sure it's public, then click on create repository. So we've created our repository. Now these are the things that we need to add. We need to git init. After that, git commit, and then the next command is to git branch, and then now git remote add origin. Okay, so let's just do that. Go back to your terminal. Now I'm just going to split this into two. Give me a minute to just split this one. I know Windows 11 has an option for splitting tabs. I don't know about this one. So I'll just split these ones into two. Okay, now the first thing is we had already initialized our Git. Now let's do Git branch. Git branch, sorry. Git branch m main. Okay, now let's git remote add origin. Git remote add origin https. You can just copy paste that, and then we have github.com // tutorials point.git tutorials point.git, then click on enter. Now the next thing is to git push u origin main. So when you look at our Git, let's just look at our Git branch, how many branches we have. It says we have the main, we are working on the main branch. Okay, now we need to push our codes to the main branch. So git push origin main. Okay, now that's done. When you go back and check your Git status, you'll see that on branch there is nothing to commit, working tree clean. Now when you go back to your Git repo which you had created, tutorials point, that one, you see that we have 3 commits that have been pushed. So these are the ones, this is the file we created, and when you look at the details that are there, you'll find that these are what we had on our VS Code. Now that's done. The next thing is to create a new branch. So we want to create a new branch. Now to create a new branch, you need to use git branch. So git branch, and then the name of that branch, maybe let's say new feature, new feature. Then click on enter. Now let's go to that branch that you've created. To go to that branch that you've created, you need to use git checkout, git checkout, and then new feature. So you can ever use git has another command. If you don't use checkout, you can use switch. So let's just git help. I don't know if that's the command. Git help. Yeah. So you can see that git has a new command for switching to branches. So you can use git switch to switch to branches. Okay. Let's just try that. Let's say we want to go back to the main branch. So git switch main. So switch to main branch. So you can either use the switch command or the checkout command. So let's just go back to the branch that you created. So git checkout new branch, new feature, sorry. Git checkout new feature. Now we've switched to the branch new feature. Now on this branch, we want to make some changes, and then those changes we want to merge them back to the main branch. So let's create a new file on this new branch. So use the touch command. Touch. You can just say touch. Let's give a name. Um, Tanzania. Tanzania.py. Click on enter. And then let's just go to that code. So you'll see that we have a new file, Tanzania.py. Let's just maybe print something. Print Tanzania is among the top rated African countries. The top rated African countries. And then just Control S to save. Go back to your Git bash terminal and just check on Git status. Now you will see that we have on the branch new feature, not on the main. We have on the branch new feature, we have untracked files, which is Tanzania.py. Now let's add that. So Git add and then Tanzania.py, then click on enter. Then just look at the Git status once again. You'll see that changes to be committed, new file Tanzania.py. So just commit git commit -m, and then we have maybe the name of the commit, maybe let's just say new feature added. Then enter. And then now we need to push. So we are on the new feature branch. So we are not pushing to the main branch. We are pushing to the new feature branch. So just use git push. Now let me just do something because we'll need to merge this new feature back to the main branch, right? Now for us to do that, we are going to use a command git remote -v. Okay. Now this is what is going to help us to merge the two the to merge the main branch to the new feature branch. So let's now push our code. So push git push origin new feature, enter. All right, so when you look at Git status, you'll see that on branch new feature nothing to commit. Let's go and check our Git repository. Okay, now you'll see that we have one branch. A new feature has been added to our main branch. Okay, now when you go back, it's asking for you to compare and do a pull request. Compare and do a pull request. So what you're going to do, just click on compare and do and pull request, and then just confirm new feature added, and then create a pull request, and then click on merge pull request. So after you've confirmed that uh, the code that is there is okay, click on confirm merge. Okay, and then now let's go back to our terminal. So let's just use, so if you want to see the commits that you made, just use git log one line. So you see that you are on the head branch is new feature. Now the head branch is not main. We are on the head branch, which is the new feature. And on the origin new feature, there is a new feature that has been added. So this is the commit, new feature added. And then on the origin main, there is a commit that we made on my tutorial document. This is why I wrote tutorial. Okay. So that's the first commit that we made, and then we are on the head, which is the new feature. So using the command git log one line is to show you the number of commits that you've made. Okay. Now, if you have made a commit and you want to go back to the previous version that you were, you use git restore. So git restore, but that only happens after if you haven't pushed your code. If you have only added and you have done a commit but you've not pushed your code, so for that you'll use git restore. But let me just I'll talk about that later. Now, after you are done with this, so we are on git status. Let's check our git status once again. It says that uh, on branch new feature, nothing to commit, working tree, clean, right? Now we want to merge our main branch to this new feature branch. So what we're going to do, we are going to check out the main branch. So just use git checkout or git switch main. And then I want to merge now the main branch to the new feature branch. So yeah, just use git merge new feature, git merge new feature. Click on enter. Now, when you look at git status, so you see that updating fast forward 1 file change. Now, when you look at git status, it says branch nothing to commit, working tree clean. Now let's just we want to make sure that the file that we created, it's not on the new feature branch, but it has been now merged to the main branch. So just use git push origin main. Click on enter. So it says so we have an error. So we are going to use the git remote command, and then now let's git push again. Git push origin main. we are having a problem. Git pull, so we have error failed to pull some refs to this. Let's see where the problem is. Just a minute. Let's see, git push u origin main. Let's see. Let's see what the problem is. Okay. Okay. On our GitHub, we've already accepted. This is what has happened. We have already accepted the merge pull request. And when you look at this one, we already merged this one back to our our main branch. So it definitely means there is nothing to push, right? So that's why we are getting this error. Fail to push some refs to it says that the updates are because the remote contains work that we do not have locally. This is usually caused by another repository pushing to the same ref if one update merges pull before pull. So the thing is, we've already accepted the pull request on our GitHub, but then hapa bado hatuja sorry, on our git bash terminal, we want to push, but already the we've merged the new branch feature to the main branch. So that is that. So when you look at git status, you see that on branch main there is nothing to commit, working tree clean. Now let's go back to our code and see. Now you'll see that we have the Tanzania.py. Tanzania is among the top countries. And then maybe let's just make a little bit of change and say maybe um, Tanzania is among the top rated countries and also also with the best president. The best president. Control S. Now let's just look at, now you remember this Tanzania.py, we had created it on our new feature branch. Now it's on the main branch right now because we've already merged it from the new feature branch to the main branch. Now when you look at git status, yeah, it says that we have modified Tanzania.py. Now it's on our main branch. It is on branch main. But when you created it, when you created that Tanzania.py, it was saying that to branch name. So when you look at this, let me just go back. Let me just go back where it was. Let me just go back. Yeah. So when you created the Tanzania.py, it was on the branch new feature, right? Now it's on our main branch. Now it's on our main branch. You see, there's a difference. Now it's on our main branch. So we need just to use the normal command for adding a new feature. So git add, then maybe git add Tanzania.py, and then just git commit and then just give it a name, modified some data, enter, and then git push. Now we are pushing to the main branch, so git push origin main. We are having some problem. Let me just see git push. Let me use the git remote. Git push origin main. So when we are getting this error, then we need to do we need to use the command git rebase. So let me just check this one out. Git rebase command. So when you find an error, just make sure to look at the documentation first of all. So we have if branch is specified, git rebase will perform automatic git switch branch before doing this result. So let's use git rebase. Git rebase main. Now let's try git status, git push origin main. We still have an error. Let's just check this one. Git pull. Okay, juu hapa pia tuliambiwa git pull. So let's git pull origin main rebase. Okay, now let's try and push now our code. Git push origin main. Yeah, let's see if we have that on our if we have that update. Yeah, yeah. So you see we have that update. So if you get an error like that, just make sure to use pull origin main from git pull origin main rebase, and then after that use the git push command. Now origin main, it should work. If you get an error that failed to push some refs, it says that database will reject. If you get this kind of message, just use the git pull origin main rebase. Okay. Now after we've done that, now let's go to uh, the next part, which is to clone. Now let's say we want to clone a repository, so git clone. Give me just a minute. Okay, now if you want to clone a repository, for example, just go to, let me say I have my repositories here. So Let me say I want to clone which repository. Let me just check my repos. So to clone a repository, just use the git. Just use the git clone. Now let me say I want to clone this repo, this one, advanced git. So I'll just click on that, and then on the code. Now, one thing you need to be very careful about is how you name your commits. You see, like for example, this is my initial file, and then the next commit, this one was made yesterday, my initial files, this one and this one. Then we have commits that were made yesterday, no, commits that were made 6 hours ago. Now you'll see that it's only this commit that has been made, okay? And it's clearly saying that I have made changes on history.py. Now it's clear on exactly what I have done on that commit. And then there is this new file. This is a business file on modified branch. Now this one was a branch that I had merged back to the main. Okay, because if you want to check on that, just go to your insights, and then you'll see we have one active pull request. And then when you go to network, you can see that we had uh, we had the main branch, and then there is that modified branch which is then merged back to the main branch. So this is a screenshot of what you have done on your on your main branch, okay, on your repository. So everything that you will do on your repository, you can see on this network graph. So just go to insights, then you'll find it on the network, then just look at how whatever you've done. So this is our main, and then that blue line takes us to the modified branch. Then from the modified branch, it takes us again back to the main branch. Now we want to clone this repository. Let's just go back. I want to clone this repository, so click on code, and then I'm just going to copy this one to clipboard. Then just go to your GitHub terminal. Let me just minimize that. So I'm going to git clone https /github.com /junior cutting, and then from there we have junior cutting /advanced git /advanced git .git. Click on enter. So we've cloned that repo. So cloning is different from forking. Forking repository is totally different from cloning a repository. Now, forking a repository, you only do that on your GitHub profile. Like I can decide to fork someone else repository. Like for me personally, I always fork the Powerland projects assignment. So if you just go to Powerland, I can be able to fork this one. I can be able to fork my assignment, but this one will only be available on my GitHub repo. It won't be available on my local machine. So after that, so GitHub clone, Git clone and Git fork is totally different. Now let's move to the directory. So cd advanced, we want to make some changes and then push it back. So cd advanced git. Now we are on that we are on that directory. So just let's go to the codes that are there. So just click on code and then period. Okay, now it has opened for us the advanced git directory with the files that are on that directory. You see here imeandikwa it's advanced git, and then we have the files that have been created. We have chem, history, Kenya, and then we have maths. Okay, when you go back and check your GitHub account, and let's check that repository that we cloned, the repo that we cloned, your repositories. So this is the repo that we cloned, this one, advanced git. Now you see we have the new file. So we have how many files? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then when you go to your Visual Studio, you'll see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 files. So let's modify maybe this Kenya dot let's modify maybe which one? Let's just modify this new file business.py. And then let me just change something. Maybe let me say give me the results for third year students. Okay, then Control S. Now go back to your terminal and then just look at Git status. Now it says that on the main branch, your branch is up to date with origin main. We have changes that have been staged for commit, modified new file business.py. Now suppose we don't want to make these changes on this person's main branch. So we need to create a new branch, another branch, then make those changes there. Then you can be able to merge it back to the main branch. So for that, you're going to just use the command that we used before, git branch, then just give that branch a name, maybe cloned branch, then enter. Now let's move out to that branch, git switch, cloned branch, enter. Now let's check the git status again. It says that we have on branch, cloned branch, we have one modified file. So let's just add it. So git add new file slash business .py. So enter. Now check the git status. It says that the changes to be committed on the cloned branch. Now we are on the cloned branch, not on the main branch right now. So we have switched to the cloned branch. So you're just going to use git commit -m, then give that commit a name, maybe modified your business.py file, enter, and then just use git push origin. Now it's not main, now it's cloned branch, not main. So when you check on git status, you'll see that on branch, cloned branch, nothing to commit. Let's check our advanced git. So when you check this, you see that clone branch had recent pushes 2 seconds ago. Compare and make a pull request. So let's go back to our bash terminal. So after we've done that, we can either merge back our cloned branch to the main, but we don't want to do that because we are only making a change. So after that change has been approved and that pull request has been accepted, that's when we can now merge back to the main branch. So for now, you are going just to use, let's just check out to the main branch, git checkout main. So you can either use checkout or switch. Then just go to git status, nothing, then git push origin main. Now it says that everything is up to date. Now you need to go and accept this pull request. So until I accept, that is when these branches can be automatically merged. So GitHub will give you you'll get a message that there is a pull request on your on your on your on your repository. Now you are just going to create a pull request, and then after you've confirmed, it says that Junakari wants to merge one commit into main from a cloned branch. You see, so he wants to merge. Now once you've confirmed that they are okay, like that code is okay, just click on merge pull request, then just confirm merge. Okay, so you see a successful pull request successfully merged and closed. So you can just delete this branch because you've already merged, so there is no need. So when you go back to that, let's go back to git log one line to just see the comments that you've made. Git log one line. Now you'll see that we are on the head, we are on the main branch, which is the head. And on the origin main head, the first thing that was done is a merge pull request from a Juniakati modified branch. There was a pull request from a modified branch. So we have done, there are two pull requests that have been done. So the first pull request was made from a modified branch, it was made from this. So this is the modified branch business.py. And then when you go back, there is another modified. So the second commit is this one, origin modified branch. This is a business file on modified branch. And then there was those commits that we made earlier, my initial files, and then added a history subject, and then these are the initial files. So this is what was done on that repository because we are still working on that clone repository. So the commits that were made are these ones. These were the commits that were made. The only thing that we've made is this one, the first one. We did a merge pull request from the modified branch. That is the only thing that we have done. Okay. So that's all about Git cloning. If you want to merge now back the main and that modified branch, you can just use um, git merge, and then the name of our branch was cloned branch. But there is no need to merge because we've already accepted a pull request. The pull request is already successful. So we are merging nothing. Hakuna kitu kwa hii cloned repository. There is nothing. So there is no need. We can just delete it, your branch. So there is no need. So that's what we've learned so far. Yeah. So thank you so much.